certain times it's about experience. So was there one instance happening or something or other in that 1990 season that clicked for you guys, whether personally or as a team, that served as an inspiration for the recovery?
Well, one big performance and one big result, Andy. You know, I look back at and there's so many similarities. The team is giving everything for the football club. You see that. You see the body language. You see what they're doing. You know, I don't think there can be any criticism long term about what's happened at this football club over the last 4.5 years in terms of, you know, the commitment that everybody at this football club has given to try and get us into this position. There has been the odd games, you know, and I said it right the way through. Odd game in League One, not many. Odd game in the first season, odd game in the second season, even last year, and the odd game this season. But for the majority, you know, you don't lose all these games by the single goal margin. If you've got, I keep saying, if you've got the white flag out and you're disjointed and everybody's pulling in different directions. And that wasn't the case. We're playing, you know, like I said to you, a team that spent, you know, £500 million and attracted one of the best managers in the world last night. And for 80 minutes, there's nothing in it. There's nothing in it. But I just don't want to see just nothing in it. And we are underdogs. We're always underdogs. This club has always been an underdog club. And we thrive on that, but the club has got to the players and the team have got to play in a fashion that gives you an opportunity of winning games. And as I said, so many similarities, so many qualities to the team of '90, to the team there. It was that one result. They backed it up against Luton. We got beat, I remember, against Arsenal. I played in that game. We got beat at Anfield that game. And then there was a run of games where it was tight, but the games we won because we got a belief and got a little momentum off the back of that fabulous performance and result against Forest on Boxing Day, and it's amazing what that does for you. And we're still striving, we're still finding, and we're still desperate for that big performance stroke result.
Ben Osborne was speaking after the match last night, and he used the word embarrassment, which of course is a different emotion to say frustration or what have you. Do you get that sense that that's what they're feeling right now?
Yeah, I think we all are. You know, we're not enjoying it. You know, because people are chucking everything at us, the worst team and points total, and you can't get away from the fact that I don't think that we are the worst team in the Premier League. But the points are what it's there for, and you have to win games as well as play okay. But it is. Of course, it is a feeling of that. You know, you don't want to put the TV on. You don't want to listen to things. You know, Radio 4. I've never listened to Radio 4 in my life, but they don't do any sport on Radio 4. They don't do any Premier League football. And I'm learning so many weird and wonderful things and about life, really, because I've been in this bubble of football for 35 years. So it is, yeah, it does feel that way, and it won't if we start winning games of football. And you know, we've earned an enormous amount of respect, and we want that to continue as well. But we want to win games of football. And of course, you know, those words that if Ben says them, who's incredibly honest football player, you know, who yet again another one that left everything out there last night. And if the players are feeling it, I can understand the feeling of it. It doesn't mean that you hide away. You need to walk around, still doing the same walks and sticking my head up, and I believe that the support is definitely still with us. But of course, it does affect every part of you, and that word, I should imagine, is a correct one to use. Not on performances, not on, you know, a disharmony in the group, but most certainly 2 points from 15 games doesn't leave you with a feeling of anything else.
Do you place any extra significance on the next three? Because, well, Burnley obviously in very good form, aren't they? But then Newcastle, Palace and Newcastle follow that.
They're all after points, Andy. I've never looked at this division and thought of anything different. Burnley have been an incredible story for a long time, and they'll continue to be under Sean. Newcastle and Palace are established Premier League clubs, and as I've said all along, I know teams won't want to come out and say it, but I do believe there's 10, 11 football clubs in this division before a ball is kicked that would settle for 17th place. I don't think they can ever come out and say that, but I think they do, and I think that's the reason that they talk about it. They talk about, Premier League survival because of how tough the division is, how demanding it is. We go from Everton at home, who are a top side, to Burnley away, who are doing well and a real difficult place to go and get a result that have turned better teams over than us in the past and had some incredible results. Went down after their first year in, went down, regrouped and went again. So there's a story with them as well. And Newcastle and Palace, who I think there was a stat that Palace have in their Premier League past seasons, how many they've been in, have not finished in the top 10. I think that shows you how difficult it is for established clubs to even, kick on as well. So that goes to, in my opinion, when you talk about, 17th and above, even though I keep saying it, they won't want to come out with it. Another 120 million, another season in the Premier League, and then they go again.
Everybody all right after last night in terms of injury? There are no further issues to contend with, are there?
Ollie Burke had a back spasm. That's the reason he had to come off at half time. Ollie Mack, as I said, put his hand up. We wanted him in and around. He's obviously had a really heavy fall and was out for a couple of weeks after the Southampton game. Had an injection, and then you saw last night had a bit of a car crash with their centre half. So, as I've talked about after the game, Andy, his commitment should never be doubted, and it won't ever be doubted by me. He wanted to get out there, he wanted to help the team, myself and the football. Not help the football club because he gets paid to play football, but I think 80% of footballers wouldn't have made that decision to put their hand up to play. And then took a big whack last night, but carried on through. So we'll assess him. Lys Mousset has really had, as I said last night, had a stop-start season through his injury, through rolling his ankle, still having few issues with that. We're desperately trying to get him on the pitch because we know what he can do, but obviously to start a game is really difficult for him because we can't condition him enough through the week. To get him games under his belt, to get him into a rhythm. So that's quite a difficult one that we're dealing at the moment. And there's a couple that you would expect from a really bruising physical encounter last night, and that was what the game was about last night. There wasn't much opportunities. It wasn't a free flowing game. And we're talking about a team that's, as I said, that after last night's performance and result, find themselves in second position in the Premier League.